Gwen.
Hey, what's up?
Another Wicked Wednesday. If y'all missed Christina's show earlier, please be sure to go back and watch that.
Yes.
I believe her guest was Blaine Rohan. And
Was?
yeah, not feeling exactly 100%. As you know, I was under the weather yesterday. I ended up not even going to work. I spent a majority of the day in bed.
Ooh.
Got a little bit of a sinus headache thing here going on. And then I went to work today and I was setting up for the podcast. I finished making the ad for Kyle tonight and wrote out my list of questions. And in my hectic rush to get out of work because we were there late due to a first responder meeting, I left my list of questions on my desk. So we just go winging.
We do that anyway, so it's fine.
It's not the first time it's happened. Hey, Sean, I saw you down there. But it's not the first time it's happened. And it damn sure won't be the last, as we both know.
Mm-mm.
But how's everything going for you?
I'm pretty good. Weather also aggravating me with all the pollen we have down here, but I'm gonna work my way through it and we'll be good to go.
I don't miss that southern pollen. I don't miss it when you go outside and if you want to sit down on the park bench or something, you stand up with a yellow ass. I don't miss that.
That is exactly. And it did rain a little bit, and we're getting through it. And it's honestly, when it's warm, it's nice. And we have some chilly days, but this weekend's actually supposed to be really good. So I'm hoping to get outside.
Nice. I think we're supposed to hit 50s or 60s this weekend. I mean, I'll take it. It's better than 20s and 30s.
It's supposed to be 80s here.
Nice. You know what? I miss the 80 degrees at this time of year. I really do. But let me tell you, when you live up this far north,
Yeah.
and I think Kyle can attest to this when he comes on the show. I think he'll agree with me. Once you live this far north and you see those negative temperatures during the winter, you go outside on a 40-degree day, which most people would think is cold. It's t-shirt weather for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's insane because I never used to understand that when I lived in Alabama. I see people up north, 40 degrees in t-shirts. I'm like, these motherfuckers are crazy.
Yeah, true.
And now that I live up here, I'm like, they're not so crazy after all. I mean, well, most of them are actually. They a little bit. But
even when I came, and I was up, as everybody knows, I traveled a lot last year. And when I was up in Wisconsin and that kind of thing for a while, I came home and I was burning up. Absolutely burning. And everybody's like, what's wrong with you? Because you're always cold. And I'm like, because I've been in that weather. It's okay here now. So,
that's fair. That's fair. But without further ado, we have a great guest lined up tonight. I'm super happy to have him on. I'm not even sure if he remembers it, but several years ago, I actually did get to meet him at an event. It was many, many years ago, though. So maybe we could touch on that. Maybe he'll remember the event. He probably doesn't remember me because I didn't have a beard back then. And like the close-knit shave thing I didn't even have that back then. So, but yeah, so it's going to be a great show. He's a veteran of the paranormal, 20 years, and he's also a member of the Warner Paranormal Preservation Society. And Matt Warner is awesome. I love Matt. He's a great dude.
Yes.
And he's he wrote the foreword for my book. So I'm really looking forward to having Kyle on. So please welcome to the Paranormal Unveiled family, Mr. Kyle Palmer.
Hey, Kyle.
Is he there?
I don't see things. Kyle?
Maybe. Gremlins.
Kyle, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yay! Okay.
We got it.
I'm
we
a
got
ghost.
it. Kyle, how are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Not bad, brother. First and foremost, I appreciate you coming on the show, taking an hour to chat with us.
Absolutely.
I was super stoked when I first asked you and you said yes, because I'll be honest, I don't think I've seen you on too many podcasts. I feel like you don't do them very often.
No, not too often.
But we're discussing something about that later on that I think is a pretty big announcement that I think you'd be happy to talk about. You're part of the Warner Paranormal Preservation Society.
Yes.
And I know Matt. He's an awesome guy. I've only unfortunately met him, I think, twice, maybe once, but absolutely amazing dude. And so with you being part of that society, I assume you spent a good amount of time in the House of Hurt and Pain in Heart Stuff Hall.
Many, many times, yes.
So can you tell us like what kind of experiences have you had there personally?
Well, I'll start off at the hall because that's where we originally started because Matt didn't have the House of Hurt and Pain just yet. But when we went to the hall, we were the first people to ever investigate there. It was a place that Matt had always wanted to investigate. He used to see the place as a child driving by growing up in Abington and seeing the big cannons. And as a little kid, that intrigued him a lot. So he always set it out as he got older, like to get into that place. And, some things finally fell into place and he was able to get in there. And then he weaseled his way into talking to them about letting us look for ghosts there somehow. And which actually turned out really well. And some of the first experiences we had there was we got a lot of interactions with like children and stuff like that, which we weren't really expecting. And then come to find out, there used to be like a school like in the parking lot. It's now a parking lot, but there was a school there back in the day. So
Interesting.
that has to be tied somehow. And I'm a true believer that spirits don't necessarily have to be in the location that you're picking up on with like a voice recorder or radio. I mean, a spirit box is a radio. You're picking
Right.
up people from states away on the radio. You're going to pick up spirits from down the street, maybe a state, like you don't know if they're actually a part of that house. And I've had many experiences where I picked up spirits that had nothing to do with the location I was in. So that's one thing to think about. Always look at the small details.
Yeah, because actually I was going to touch on that later based off of one of your YouTube videos. So we're definitely going to circle back around to that.
Yeah. So that was really a lot of it in the beginning. We were kind of uncovering the history as we went along. There wasn't much history that we knew about. And there is a historian that works for the hall, and Matt started working with her. Some of the names we were getting and stuff like that actually started tying into some of the history of the place. So, I mean, how do you explain that?
I mean, realistically?
Yeah, true.
And like we just walked in there one day, we're getting kids, and we had no idea there was a school literally in the parking lot that's now a bank.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It really is.
That is crazy.
And it was like a place for families back in the day, so there probably was a lot of kids there. It was a gathering hall for Civil War veterans that was built by the wives of Civil War veterans, and it was kind of a gathering place. And some of the stuff we found in the building led us to believe that it was also an Oddfellows meeting location. We had like the coffin, the skeleton, a lot of uniforms and stuff that all tied to like Oddfellow stuff. And yeah, since then we've had a lot of different experiences there. A lot of different teams come through. A lot of people getting similar experiences as us. We were actually last October on WBZ 13 News in Boston,
Yes,
where we brought their meteorologist Jacob Wyckoff on an investigation. And there's a spirit there called Samuel. Now, Samuel was one of the only Confederate soldiers that came up north after the war because his daughter had moved up here, I think, because she married somebody or something like that. And he was a Civil War veteran, and he was a part of the hall, but because he was a Confederate, for some of the meetings, they didn't allow him to attend, so he would pace back and forth outside of the hall. And so we get a lot of experiences of people hearing boots and footsteps and stuff like that. And the night we brought Jacob there, we went to Samuel's grave, which is a couple streets away, and we did offer for any of the spirits in the cemetery to come with us, which they did.
nice.
And since then, the energy in that place has changed. The energy had went from very positive to normal, just I would say more residual kind of type of stuff to more negative. Some of the stuff we captured that night, they couldn't show on the news, and it was stuff that we've never experienced there before. And after that, we've had other events and other people come through, and a little bit more, not like wicked bad or scary, but just like more like curse words and stuff like that. So like
interesting.
We didn't get before, yeah, but nothing like evil and nothing scary, but just like somebody with a chip on their shoulder.
Right. So I don't know how often investigations are allowed at the location, right? Do you think maybe it's not necessarily someone brought in something that's negative, but maybe the energy that people are bringing in could be affecting them in an adverse way, and they kind of feel uncomfortable about it?
Could be. I mean, anything is possible. I don't claim to know everything, so I'm open to any possibilities. But I do believe, since I've been there so much, that night Matt and I went to that cemetery and we offered for other spirits to follow us, the energy definitely shifted. and has stayed since that's happened.
And that is why I'm always an advocate of, if you go somewhere, don't say follow me home.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we weren't going home, but
Right. But you know what? I mean, that is weird though. How you know, if you go to a place like a cemetery and you say, you know, if you
right,
want to come with us, you can come with us, and it's so often that things actually will follow you.
right.
And I don't know if that's because they want that companionship because they don't typically get it, and they're like, hey, someone's actually interested in talking with me, or
Probably.
if they just want to leave that place.
Yeah,
So you've been in the paranormal field for what, 20 years?
yeah.
That is a very long time. You got 2 years on me. So that is a very long time. So can I ask you, what got you started in the interest of the paranormal to begin with? Was it an experience? Did you see a show, or did you read a book?
So it was probably around 2007, which that was around the time like Ghost Hunters was on a lot. I remember coming home from school and it was like reruns on Wednesdays, like all the time, right after like Scariest Places on Earth. So I used to watch that all the time. So I was always interested in it. I never knew what an EVP was until I saw that show, and then I was like, wait, you can record like voices with a voice recorder, which kind of blew my mind. So I was like, that's very interesting. Um, but what got me really started was I was taking an English class in high school called Myths and Legends, um, and I wasn't doing good in it. I was failing, and my teacher told me, she was like, Kyle, if you do this it was a senior project. She was like, if you just do this project and finish it and hand it in, I will pass you. So I was like, all right.
That's a
And
win-win.
yeah, so I had my buddy Drew, and him and I got together. We reached out to like a local paranormal group, went on some investigations with them. Um, didn't really get much with them. It's actually kind of a funny story, but I went off on my own. I got a voice recorder from like Radio Shack, just like on a little like Olympus one. And I went to my grandmother's grave, which was down the street from my house, because I just figured if I'm gonna get anything, maybe I should try to contact somebody who might have been close to me. And I had asked her right before I was done talking. I maybe talked to her about 5-10 minutes, and the last thing I said before I wrapped up was, "If there's anything you would like to tell me before you passed on, can you tell me now?" And a female voice came through and said, "Be good." Clear as day.
And
So
that,
I asked my go. Yep.
oh, I was gonna say, then that's pretty profound considering where you were at.
Right. I was by myself. Um, I was asking a female a question. I was trying to talk to a female, and I got a female response saying "be good," which is an answer to my question.
Right. It was direct correlation.
Mm-hmm.
Direct.
And
Yes.
it's not that often you have that. Like, a lot of people don't realize, especially in the world of EVP, you can ask a question, but very rarely do you ever get a direct response to your question. The response could be something that sounds similar or is in the area, but it's very rarely ever completely direct.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so going off of that, I saw one of your YouTube videos today when I was at work, which I was not watching YouTube at work, for the record.
Sorry. We all
But
do it.
but no, so I saw this theory that you had, like you were using a spirit box and you were recording your session. And I absolutely love this theory about why you should record your spirit box sessions for review later. I think
Yeah.
the theory that you had makes logical sense to me, and
Mhm.
I think that more people need to hear it. Would you mind explaining that theory? I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I know exactly. So this is from 20 years of experience and
Yes,
getting many, many,
and
many
you're the one who made the
EVPs.
video, so of course you know what I'm talking about.
um, yeah, I mean, my ultimate theory is that when you die, you become a part of the universe again, and the universe is expanding at a very fast rate. Um, and sometimes spirit voices come through very fast, especially when using a spirit box. In the moment when you're listening to it, you hear a lot of shuffle, a lot of noise, and everything's coming fast. So like your brain can't process it that fast. So you have to record it and you have to go back and play it. And sometimes you get these little clips that sound like a and it sounds like nothing. If you hear that in the moment, you're gonna think that's nothing. It's not a full word. But when you go into your editing programs and you highlight that, and you slow it down. I use Premiere Pro, and you can change the speed of it, and you can change the pitch, everything like that. You can drown out all the extra noise, and then you'll get a full word, a full sentence that is answering your question.
Yeah, and I can tell you that I 100% agree with this theory. And I also 100% agree with the theory that you should always record your sessions, whether with a spirit box. Because
Right.
I won't video record it. I'll record mine on an audio recorder. And then I'll go through with a sound editing program and I'll highlight the areas that I know I may have heard something. Because I'm a huge fan of taking notes. I timestamp a lot of stuff. And so as soon as I hit that timestamp, I go through it. I find the clip. Then I take the clip and then I slow it down. And you're right. 9 times out of 10, what sounds like just random noise ends up being a word or a sentence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
so
I've
that's
gotten
why,
full names, full sentences, like
yeah, if
way
you go,
more clear than just like getting a Class A EVP that you don't have to do anything to. You can pick out way more just by doing those little edits and
yes,
just going through it. And now it's like to a point
and I
where I
agree
can
with
just
that
go
100%.
anywhere and do it. Like I could probably do it in here right now. I get something and I could be able to pick it out and something answering me.
Yeah, and if you go
It's
over
weird.
to and if you go over to Kyle's YouTube, which is Kyle is Haunted, it's one word, correct?
There's like a little dash in between. But
There was a dash?
Yeah, Kyle is
Okay.
haunted. Yeah.
But if you go over to Kyle is Haunted and you watch that video, he even shows you how basically he's trying to prove this theory, which in my case, in my opinion, not case, in my opinion, he does, because he actually plays for you the word that was captured during him recording it.
Right.
And
It
I
was
think
crazy because I was explaining my theory, and then a voice came through, and I'm like, huh, what timing?
right, right. And
Yeah.
I absolutely enjoyed the timing of that. I mean, it was literally just candid, and it just happened to work that way.
Right. And I also
And
believe that was my grandmother.
oh,
She's come
okay.
through all throughout my history from when I started. She comes through on investigations. I know her voice and I know her message. And I had talked to you about this, but I was going through a really hard time in my life. I was going through a separation. You know, I had
Yep.
2 kids, everything like that. And I was going through a separation with the mother of my children, selling my house and all that. And she told me that I am with you, which is a message I really needed at that time. Just like the first one she told me, which was be good, because I had just got arrested in high school.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, so she's watching you for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's gotta bring you comfort.
It does, yes.
And so you also, for those out there who don't know, you do a little bit of, I guess you could say artwork. I don't know if you call it graphic design, what you would call it.
A little bit of everything.
But he actually is the one who designed my banner, which you may not be able to see it very well because it's kind of big. But he did amazing work on designing this banner for Paracons for me.
Nice.
Yep.
So how did you get into doing that? Did you just happen to realize that that was a talent that you had?
Yeah, I've been an artist probably since like kindergarten. I've painted, draw, photography, graphic design, everything, anything with art, any medium. I touched it all.
I had to dig that out of my closet to highlight it because I keep it in my closet so it doesn't get ruined until Paracons.
I got you.
But I had to highlight that because, dude, that thing came out amazing.
Yeah.
And I think you do awesome work. So going forward a little bit, you've been in the field for 20 years now, and I feel like you've had a lot of experiences. Do you have a book, or do you ever plan on writing a book?
I don't have a book. No, I don't. Maybe someday.
I feel
I don't
like
know if it's if I did have a book, I don't know if it would be finished yet. I'm still doing that project from high school.
Oh.
That's fair. That is fair. That is a very good point. So something else I wanted to touch on, because I don't know, we had said something earlier. You were talking about oh, that's what it was, ghost hunters. You were talking about how you had the interest in ghost hunters and stuff. So let me ask you, do you think that, and this is just your own opinion, it's not talking bad about anybody, in this day and age when it comes to paranormal television, do you feel like the way that they represent it on TV helps or hinders moving the field forward? Or is it like an equal medium?
I don't really watch much of it anymore, but that's probably for a reason because they just went overkill on everything. Exaggerate everything, everything's a demon, everything's this and that, and I think what's really going to bring the paranormal back is just going in with honesty and empathy and just talking to the spirits like you would talk to a normal person. You don't need all these theatrics.
I agree with that, and I feel like that's a lost art these days.
Right.
Because you're right. They try to make everything a demon. Everything's a demon. You know what? You hear a knock on the wall, it's a demon.
I've been called a demon.
I have as well. But it's so surreal to me, and I feel like a lot of people that are new to the field, I guess you could say, they've only been in it for like maybe 6 or 7 months. Maybe they watched a few of these newer TV shows, and I feel like it's misrepresented as far as what we actually do. I don't think they realize that what you see for an hour on television is heavily edited, because you go into a location for 9, 12 hours sometimes, and you might experience an eighth of what you see on television.
Right.
A lot of it is sitting there in the darkness talking to yourself, is it not?
It is.
It is. And then with television, you got to remember a lot of these people editing it weren't there.
That's true too.
So
That is true too.
if you're going to take a TV deal or get a television show, make sure you have control of all of that, or you're going to look like an idiot.
And yes, exactly, Jeremy. Treat the spirits like they're people. Treat them with respect.
Yes.
Right.
And so I feel like that's a lot of the reason people get into the field these days is because they see what they see on TV and they think it's all fun until they're in a location for 9 hours and they're like, man, is anything going to happen?
Yeah.
And we've all had it where you go into a location and it's just a dead night and you got to find something to kill the monotony, right?
Right.
So I saw a video on your YouTube of a prank that you guys pulled on the USS Salem.
Yeah.
That made me laugh so hard because I've been there. I've done similar. So I do believe I saw David Childers in the video.
Yeah.
I saw Matt Warner. I know I did.
Yeah.
You really can't. You can't miss Matt. You can't.
Right.
But so what prompted that to happen? And like, what was when people heard the reactions in person? Like, how funny was it?
It was pretty funny because at first everyone jumped and didn't know it was a prank, but you know, I'm always skeptical. I was like, "There's no way that was real."
Right, right, and I believe that you were the one that said that in the video, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I heard a voice go, "No, there was no way that was real. There's got to be someone down there or something along that nature."
Yeah.
And yeah, sure enough, people were just hiding in a room, banging on the wall or slamming a door or whatever they did. But either way, it was funny. It was loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you're sitting there in the dark and you hear something like that, your first instinct is you're gonna jump.
Right.
I feel like that's everybody's first instinct when it comes to something like that. So,
Well, you're kind of expecting it, kind of, but if
right.
you do it long enough, you know that stuff just doesn't happen.
Not
If
to
it
that
does,
extent,
it's very
no.
rare. It's very rare.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, being from Massachusetts, are you? Hang on. Like I said,
I'm from
being
New
from
Hampshire.
Massachusetts. Yeah, but I'll say being from New Hampshire. I was trying to correct myself there, but I know that I was thinking of I was thinking of the Warner Preservation, and I know they're in our Abington, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I cannot pronounce Massachusetts names for the life of me. So
No, nobody can.
so what are your thoughts on the Bridgewater Triangle?
I've had some pretty crazy experiences there as well.
So do you think that the Pukwudgie is a real thing?
I'm not gonna say no because again, like I don't know everything, and that's always my answer to everything. But I've had experiences where like people have seen Pukwudgies, or I was in a group that they caught a picture where they thought it was a Pukwudgie. But me personally, I've had no personal experiences with a Pukwudgie, but I've been to a lot of places that have folklore and stories of Pukwudgies. It's an interesting concept because supposedly they're creatures that are supposed to protect like areas where like Native Americans lived and stuff like so. Like Native Americans sort of put them there to protect land and stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if that's 100% correct, but
No, that sounds correct. Yes.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. If a bunch of people are seeing these little creatures and things are happening, then you know, I'm not going to say it's not real, but I just haven't experienced it myself.
That's fair, because I've not experienced it either. I've not yet had the opportunity to visit the Bridgewater Triangle personally.
Yeah.
I have done the Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, for me, and this is just me, I don't know if you've ever investigated there before or not.
Never.
I was disappointed.
That's what I've heard.
I went there and I recreated Mr. Borden's murder on the couch. I slept on the floor where they found Mrs. Borden's body, experienced nothing, not even a noise the whole night.
But ask yourself this: how many people are doing that every night?
Correct. And I also didn't think about the fact of this at the time, which is why I was bringing that up, of how disrespectful that could have been to the spirits.
True.
Yeah.
And
But maybe at that point, not so much because they're so used to it.
Oh, that's a good point too. Which brings me to my next point. If spirits, and once again, I know you say you don't know everything, but I just want your opinion. So if it's possible for all these people going into a location and affecting the spirits that already reside there, what is your thoughts on thought forms and egregores? Can people bring that energy into a location and actually create a spirit that was never there to begin with?
Yeah, well, I mean, essentially that's what a poltergeist is.
Yeah,
poltergeists aren't real spirits; they're manifestations of your own energy. So, I've had investigations where we've experienced poltergeist activity, or would you call them egors or
egregore?
Okay, so yeah, I did an investigation once where we were at this house. It was a normal house in like a cul-de-sac, not an old house or anything, but the lady was having a lot of experiences there. And then when we were in the house, she was not in the house. We experienced nothing. She was still there. She was outside. We had her come in. Whenever she came in the house, activity picked up. And then as we talked to her more, we found out that she was also like going through a divorce. She was going through a lot of hard times in her life. And we kind of summed it up to she was causing the haunting just with everything going on in her life. But we were getting bangs and knocks and stuff like that when she was in the house, but when she was out of the house, nothing was happening.
Yeah, and see, and that perfectly aligns with Dr. Hans Halser's theory on what a poltergeist is. It's your own inherent energy in a collective nature being, I guess you could say, pushed out of your body.
Right.
So that actually makes complete sense. And Gwen, I saw that post you had pinned there for a second. Could you pin that back up for a second? I just wanted to make sure I read it right.
That one?
Yes.
That one.
Yeah, I saw that because I was there for almost a full day. I went through 2 tours trying to learn as much history as I could. I wanted to go with 2 different tour guides.
Right.
So this way I could see if there was variances in how the history was being told. So yeah, I know that they go there in massive groups. But what you're gonna do? It's a tourist attraction, right?
Right.
So being here in New Hampshire, Kyle, I have to assume, and this is once again an assumption, I don't know. Have you ever been to America's Stonehenge?
I have.
What do you think of that site?
I've done a lot of work there, not to investigate there, but I have investigated some missing person cases there and used it as like a field or an energy source to connect with spirits, because they say it's like what do you call it, like a highway or something? Like they have all the
like some kind of
meet up there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. It's like some kind of spiritual highway or some kind of metaphysical highway or something.
So when you go to like the top of the Stonehenge area, it's like a big open field kind of, but there's a bunch of trees.
Yep.
But there's all these trees cut out in different directions. So you have your north, south, east, and west. And I did a spirit box session there. There's a missing person case that I've been working on for quite a few years. And I was doing spirit box sessions there, trying to communicate with her, trying to see if I could get anything. And I got a lot of EVPs with names from the case, suspects from the case, and stuff like that. But I wasn't in a location where anything happened to her, where she had ever been. But it was just like kind of like a theory I was kind of like testing out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very interesting just to be in a random place that's supposed to be a spiritual place where they have all these ley lines and it's like a spiritual highway, and just to like be in a place that has nothing to do with like something, and then like getting answers to questions and responses. I mean, how do you explain that?
Yeah, you really can, especially if it's coming from particularly responses to what you were asking questions about when they should have nothing to do with that location at all.
Right.
That's actually really interesting. So would you consider, so I guess this could be like a 2-way question here. Because if you're doing these spirit box things, working on, like, say, the cold case thing, right? Would you consider yourself as someone who has abilities, or are you using the equipment that you have at your disposal as a secondary tool to the best of your ability?
I would say more so that I always consider myself as a middleman.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't have abilities. Maybe I do. I mean, there's some questionable things that I've definitely like called and came true. But I consider myself more of a middleman. I'm here to give the tools for spirits to communicate. And like
Fair.
that's kind of my whole theory. This one I'm like working on is because I want the spirit to solve its own case, not me. And I don't want to get the credit for it. I want to just be like, hey, they solved it on their own. You just have to ask them.
Fair.
Who killed you?
That's
What happened to you?
Yeah.
I love that aspect. So speaking of tools, your thoughts, Ouija boards. Do you think
Never
they're?
had.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
I've never had one work. Like,
And that's literally what
but
I was about to get at. Is
yeah,
Do you think they're inherently evil, as mainstream media will have you believe, or do you think if you got one to work, say, and theoretically you attracted something to it, is it more along the lines of the energy of the people using it that attracted said spirit, or is it the board itself? Because it's varying
it's not the
opinions.
board. No, it's not the
I
board.
concur.
It's no different than any other device.
You know how often I say that? Like,
A lot.
I will go on podcasts and people are like, well, what are your thoughts on Ouija boards? Are they inherently evil? No. If you think about it, it's a divination tool. Any tool that you use in the paranormal you're trying to contact a spirit with is a divination tool.
Right.
It's no different.
Right.
Only one, you're using a board. The other one, you can hear them audibly. The other one, you can hear them on a recording device. With speaking of recording devices, what is your opinion on the Panasonic DR60 recorder?
I've never really used one. I look for them all the time when I go to like estate sales and stuff because you get pretty good money for them. But
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of I don't know. There's a lot of skepticism on them about them being just cheap and getting a lot of false positives and stuff like that.
Right, and I know you can get a bunch of money for them, and to be honest with you, if you can find one at an estate sale, that's the best place
Yeah.
to go to
If
find
I
one for
find one
cheap.
for $5, I'm selling it for $3,000.
Well, do me a favor though. Yeah, by all means, sell it for $3,000. Before you sell it for $3,000, test it out yourself a few times and formulate an opinion.
Yeah. But I am also open to all devices because if spirits can manipulate a device, you can't really say it's just a bad device. Like, I mean, I
That's
used
true.
to not be with apps. Like, I was against Spirit Talker and all that stuff. I had 2 investigations that totally changed my perspective on the Spirit Talker app because we actually solved a haunting.
Oh,
Yes. Connected the dots and everything, and the Spirit Talker came in clutch with that. And I was like very skeptical on it, but it proved me wrong.
see, I would be interested in that because that's what my first book is about. My first book is Downloading for the Dead, Investigating Paranormal Applications.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I would be very interested in that. And Spirit Talker is actually on my list for season 2.
Yeah.
So if possible, because I do plan on writing a second book once I finish up season 2, I would love to interview you about your experiences using the app.
I'll tell you to watch 2 episodes I did with my buddies and Soul Seekers.
Okay.
They're on YouTube.
Right.
It's called Whispers from the Well, Part 1 and 2.
Okay.
We solved the haunting. We connected the dots and everything, and the Spirit Talker helped us with it. It's just insane because going into it, like I never really believed in the apps at all.
See, and that was my whole point of doing that is I didn't believe in them either until I started testing a few of them out. And there was a few like the iOvilus app that seemed to work very well. The Ghost Hunter M2 app. I absolutely enjoyed that application. I think it works fun. Now, I did point out there was a few things that functionality-wise just did not click within the application itself.
Right.
And the app creator, Michael Weber, actually commented on my YouTube video and then sent me a request on Facebook, and we talked for a little bit. He actually took that out of his new app and added additions.
Yeah.
So I like it when someone actually listens to what you have to say, and you're not giving a harsh criticism. You're just telling the truth based on what you experience.
Right.
So another question I had for you, considering the fact that you've been in the field for so long, you've probably been to a lot of places. Do you have a favorite place that you've ever been?
It's a very tough question.
I'll tell you what, you can
Not
choose
really.
two. Your top two.
This random house on Hanover Street in Manchester, New Hampshire, that probably no one will know what it is. But yeah, I mean, some local, just honestly, just like private investigations that I've been to, where I've gotten the craziest responses and experiences. But I mean, I would say for like known locations, St. Albans is a big one. That's in Virginia, and then Asher Walton House in Indiana, which is near the Rhodes Hotel. That's another good
Nice.
one. Yeah.
Nice.
Octagon Hall in Kentucky. That was a
Oh, I've
fun
not
one.
been, but I've heard so many great things.
Yeah. Then around here, it's not really much around here, but I'll say, Matt's house, House of Hurt and Pain, and the Hall. I've had just more crazy stuff happen there when I'm just like sleeping over Matt's, not even doing like investigating.
I know there's a lot of supposedly haunted places here in New Hampshire, like Laconia State School.
I was
Supposedly,
just there. Yeah.
I've heard supposed things. Of course, you have the Robert Frost Farmstead over in Derry.
Yep.
I've heard things about that place, but they are very stingent to let people in there, so to speak. So
That's all New Hampshire.
Yeah, and that's about the only two. That's about it here in New Hampshire, unless you want to go up to the White Mountains to the Omni Hotel.
I've been to the Princess Room at Mount Washington. That was actually very haunted.
Yes, I have been to the Mount Washington. I've never had the investigation to investigate, but just going to walk the facility, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, my great grandfather was one of the original like line cooks or like chefs there.
Oh, wow.
Really?
So we got to go there for a weekend for free. They had the original work crews families go stay there, and we got to stay there for a weekend. And all the original work crews used to like sign a wall. It was actually on one of the Ghost Hunter episodes when they went there. That was the one where they caught the voice of the princess or Elizabeth or whatever her name was.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
And my great grandfather's name is on that wall, so
That's
we got
cool.
to go there and see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's season 1 or season 2, episode 7 or 8 of Ghost Hunters. They went to a place called the Topstone Mill and here in Claremont, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I live about 20 minutes from that place.
Yeah, I've been there.
I love the fact that they have blacklight mini golf inside now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Blacklight mini golfs, escape rooms, and an arcade. Like, the place is awesome.
Yeah.
Me and my son like to go there, and I've been trying to convince them to let me go up to the 3rd and 4th floor. They're like, yeah, we don't let anybody up there. I'm like, please, what do I have to do?
Just aggravate.
Begging doesn't work, and aggravating them doesn't work. I've tried.
Yeah, you just find when no one's looking.
Oops.
I mean, I could do that. I could just say, hey, I got lost.
Yeah.
It happened.
Just play stupid.
I was trying to find the bathroom, and somehow I ended up here. I just assumed the bathroom was here somewhere.
Yeah, all the way up. Yeah. Yeah.
So, way back in the day, when I first moved here to New Hampshire, actually it was about 4 or 5 years after I moved here, I actually believe I met you at a convention in Manchester.
Yes, that was one
The
of
Hunting
my
for the
old
Haunted,
group.
correct?
Yep. Yeah.
And that was the first time I met Matt Warner. I met Eric Knapp.
Yeah.
I met so many good people there. I feel like that event was very well put together. Did you have any part in putting that together, or were you just a guest?
Well, I'm glad you said it. Yeah. It almost didn't happen, but yeah, it was well put together. But we had a lot of roadblocks in the way, and it's actually kind of a funny story because you know how we had Annabelle there.
Yep.
This was before Annabelle went on her world tour and was burning down frickin' plantations and making inmates escape prisons and stuff. She came to Manchester, New Hampshire.
She did, and I have proof.
Yeah. Well, nothing happened, but So my favorite part about that event is that we were supposed to do an investigation like after the event, and there's this house, the Pink House in Londonderry, which is like notoriously haunted. We had it all set up, ready to go. The lady that was supposed to let us all in there got in a car accident. Like,
Facts.
yeah, so we couldn't go. So Eric and I were like freaking out, and we had all these people that were pissed because they paid extra money for an investigation. So we had to improvise really quick. We talked to the hotel. They let us get a room, like a conference room down in the hotel. And then everyone was there with a bunch of haunted objects and haunted dolls. So you had a bunch of grown men and grown women in a random room in a hotel with their devices all talking to dolls. So I
And
was thinking to myself, I was like, if you didn't know what was going on, you walked in the wrong room, you're just going to see a bunch of grown people talking to dolls. That'd be the funniest thing.
It
To
would
actually
be.
walk in on.
that
It turned out pretty good.
it did. I loved the event. It was the first paranormal event that I've attended here in this area, and I can tell you exactly what he just said is 100% fact because I was in that room with the haunted objects. So I know for a fact that happened, and I remember Eric. I think we were outside smoking a cigarette, and he was like, "Man, some stuff just went down. Just candidly, some stuff went down. I don't know what we're gonna do about this. I've got to go talk to some people real quick, figure something out."
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure y'all could, because y'all got something going on. Because that was literally, I'd known Eric for like a whole 5 minutes. And then he got a
Right.
phone call, walked off, came back, and he just kind of seemed really stressed.
Yeah. So our investigation, the lady got in a car accident and couldn't do the investigation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was, but you know what, though? I feel like the night, even if we went and done that investigation, I feel like everyone in that room had a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
I feel like we all had a good time. I know I tried on a few of the masks that I saw.
Yeah.
Gwen, I have to send you those pictures.
Yeah, you need to unlike masks. What did you
Oh,
put
yeah,
on
there
your
was
face?
masks.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name of the doll, but I know that Matt had a doll with a rope around his neck. I can't remember the name of it.
Ameline.
Emily, thank you. That was the first time I saw that doll. I didn't want to go nowhere near it.
Yeah.
And it's not often I don't want to go near something. I saw it and I'm like, that makes me a little uncomfy. And I don't know if it was just the aesthetic of the doll because of how it looks or the backstory. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go near it. I ended up taking a selfie with it by the end of the night, but
Well, you have to.
it happens. But no, I absolutely loved that event. I thought it went great, and that was the first time I met you. First time I met Matt, Eric. I feel like there was several other people there the first time I ever met them too. I think Sam Baltrusis might have been there. I'm not sure about that one.
Maybe I don't remember. I know.
I don't
it
think
was
he
all
was
like
there as a guest.
It was all the NSPR guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was there as a guest, but I know I had met him somewhere around that area walking through.
Yeah.
But no, I think that I wish that event would come back because it was so close. I know it's probably not going to happen, but it was so close to where I'm at, so close to where you're at, and it was just well put together.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we really tried hard on that one, but then Eric moved to Savannah, and he's been down there. But that was like one of the things we wanted to do before we kind of went our own ways.
Well, I
I
congratulate
think
you
we
guys.
succeeded at that. Yeah.
I congratulate you guys on a job very well done.
Thank you.
So once again, something else I want to touch on, jumping topics. So in the pre-show we were talking here, Russ. In the pre-show we were talking a little bit. You have a podcast coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Yes.
So can you touch on that a little bit for us?
Yeah, so me and my friend Austin Harley, we're starting a podcast called Unordinary and Unorthodox Podcast. We're pretty much going to try to touch on anything paranormal, music, try to talk to like bands and stuff like that. Anything that we're interested, urbex, stuff like that. And we don't really have a plan. We're just going to kind of talk about the things that interest us and try to talk to people that do the things that interest us and go from there.
You know, sometimes some of the best podcasts, they're not planned.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like, I know my podcast. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we really love paranormal stuff, abandoned places, and music. So
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Because I like,
Yeah.
for me, I know my podcast is called Paranormal Unveiled, but I have actors lined up. I have musicians lined up. I have past wrestlers lined up. Like, we're going to be going all over the gambit.
Right.
That's the whole point, is you're doing the show because you want to have fun.
Right.
And so what can we expect from the first episode if you're able to talk about that at all?
So we're gonna try to shoot for it this Sunday, and then we'll probably just go over our origin story, how Austin and I met, and some of the investigations we've done together, which is the one I told you about, the Whispers from the Well, where
Yep.
we used that Spirit Talker app and we like solved the haunting. So we'll probably touch on that, and then just kind of plans for the future and looking for guests and stuff like that.
Nice. Well, if there's anything I can do to help you out as far as looking for guests, Kyle, you just let me know. I'll do what I can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let me ask, what are your thoughts on, I know your thoughts on puck wedges, and I guess technically it is one, in my opinion, or could be an elemental. What are your thoughts on cryptids?
Cryptids are cool.
Have you ever
I
experienced anything with a cryptid?
Not really. Like, I've been into it, but I've never experienced anything like a cryptid.
So do you think there's a possibility that some of them exist? Like, I feel like the United States, the forests are expansive. There's no way that there's not the plausibility of something such as a Bigfoot existing.
Oh, 100%. I mean, how often do you see moose?
That's a very actually good analogy. Yeah, that's
That's
a
what I always
valid
say.
That's
point.
true. Yeah.
I might have to steal that one from you and use that next time someone asks me.
That's what I always say. How often do you see a moose?
That is fair.
That's good.
So,
I like
I
that.
recently got a shirt that said Mothman stole my catalytic converter. Do you think Mothman really steals catalytic converters?
I mean, he might if he.
Nathaniel.
Look, I
I was
put
going
the
to say
shirt.
something bad, but
No, look, I put
Wait,
I put
hold
the
on.
shirt,
Give me 1 second.
and it
Go
said,
ahead. Go ahead.
Does Mothman do fentanyl?
So
Be wise, Mothman.
So literally, when I posted a picture of that shirt, someone said, "Doesn't sound like Mothman, sounds like Meth Man." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, there you go.
But that was by far one of my favorite shirts that I've gotten all year.
Yeah.
So there was something. Sorry, like I said, I left my list of questions at home, and I had a whole list for you. Like, this sucks that I left my questions at work. So another one of the YouTube videos that's what it was that I really wanted to touch on, because I found this so fascinating. On your YouTube, there was a video that you took at Wilson Castle in Proctor, Vermont.
Yeah.
And you were talking about a shadow that happens to move. So I watched this video over and over and over again. First thing, I commend you for the way that you were describing what was going on in the video. How you said, you see the light and the reflection there, that's my IR light, I'm panning this way. And then you would pointed out the shadow as it moved. You didn't like draw an arrow to it or anything, but you can physically see it. You didn't have to.
Right.
And the way the shadow moved, and how you said, if you noticed, the shadow moved before I turned.
Right.
That was a very intriguing video to me. And could you explain how the whole thing went down during that moment? Like, how did you feel when you realized what you captured? Were you feeling anything strange in the room at that point in time, if you remember?
No, but I am a detail person, so I think of every and any possible way to explain something before even going the route of paranormal. I'm also a photographer. I know how cameras work. I know how lenses work. I know frame rates and everything. Anything like that can totally trick you to thinking you caught something paranormal.
That's true. And I can
And
tell
if you don't understand that stuff, you can easily just think you caught something and it's nothing. But yeah, that was my main point was there. I was panning. And as I was panning, that shadow moved before and in the opposite direction.
Yes. And that is a fact. And if you guys have not seen that video, you need to go over there and watch that, because that is very interesting to me. Because I got to go to Wilson Castle last year, and very beautiful place. It just kind of shocked me when I saw that, because I was like, okay, I've seen a lot of videos come out of Wilson Castle, and most of them I can sit here and kind of explain.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I'm like, I've got nothing, and I'm normally the guy that can do that.
Right.
But I didn't have to do the legwork because you did it all for me as you were explaining it, which I appreciate, but I kind of wanted to do that myself.
That's what I do. And people
That's
get
great.
mad at me, but
Now, I'm not mad at you, brother. I'm not mad at you at all. I love the way that you did it because you're educating at the same time.
That's
Right.
great.
And from, my sister's a professional photographer. So normally if I have questions about a video or a photo that I can't explain, I send it to her beforehand. So this way I can say, okay, if I can't explain it and she might not have an explanation, then I might have something here.
see, and that's smart because that's always my argument. You can only explain something as far as your knowledge goes.
That's
So
true.
Right.
if you're using a device that you don't know everything about, somebody else might know more about it. It might be able to explain what you're capturing.
Right.
You just might not know everything about it.
And that's what I love, being able to bounce stuff off of her. Cause she has been flown to Venice. She's been flown to Korea to do photographs for people. So
Right.
she's been in business for a very long time. She does excellent work. And so if I ever have a question about anything I've captured, or if someone sends me something and I'm like, look, I really don't know what I'm looking at here, but I've got someone who may, let me run it by them first.
Right.
And
That's what you
because
should do.
I only know what I know. That's it.
Exactly. Because then you
And
can post online and claim it to be a ghost and you're saying it's paranormal, and then somebody is going to rip you apart in the comments because they actually know more than
yes, yes.
Yep.
And in this field, your credibility and your word is all you have,
That's
you.
true.
Right.
realistically, in my opinion. So what are your plans going forward in the next few years? I know you got the podcast coming out. Are you guys you going to be doing any events? Do you have anything else coming up?
Yeah. We have an event this weekend that we're putting on. I mean, the tickets are already all sold out, but Warner Paranormal and Soul Seekers, we're doing a two location, uh, two locations one night. House of Hurt and Pain and Hearts of Hall. So Matt and our buddies and Soul Seekers did two episodes at the House of Hurt and Pain, and then they did one at Hearts of Hall. The House of Hurt and Pain series that they did is amazing. So if anyone out there wants to go check that out, it's Soul Seekers Paranormal NE on YouTube. Look at House of Hurt and Pain parts 1 and 2.
They will be getting a
These
follow
guys,
from me as soon as the show's over.
yeah, and these guys are the real deal. You know, they don't do jump scares or anything. My friend Austin Allen and
I got
Corey
to meet them
and
online. They were
sorry.
actually very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're a lot like Matt and I, and we all have the same values and the same kind of outview on this stuff. So they handle everything with respect, treat
Yes.
these spirits just like you're meeting somebody for the first time, and go in it with empathy. And and they did that. They did that, and they connected with a spirit that was dealing with a domestic violence situation. And
That's
it
rough.
was a very hard one to watch, but they did an excellent job at it. So I highly recommend going to watch that. I did cry a little bit.
You know what? Like I said, they would get a subscribe from me, and I'm always looking
Yeah.
for new things to listen to while I'm at work. I
Mhm.
might not be able to watch it, but I can at least listen and hear what's going on. So I am
and
100% down for that.
and that's why, like, I mean, I love these guys. They are my good friends, but um when you watch their stuff, it makes you feel something at the end, and it's not just another paranormal show where you're just like, okay, that was cool, but you
And I
actually
like
feel
that.
something at the end of it. Yeah. So it's
I
like
love that.
art. Yeah.
Well, when it comes to that, that's the whole point. Is the shows that you have nowadays, you don't feel anything at the end. You're like, what the did I
Right.
just watch?
Yeah,
Exactly.
true.
But if I can listen to or watch a show that makes me feel something like, okay, this is what it's about, then I'm here for it.
Yeah.
150% I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So what else you got going on?
We're doing that, and then we do our event at Wilson Castle every Halloween weekend. We do like a big ball or party there.
Mhm.
I'm doing, I think it's May 8th. There might still be some tickets available at Heartstuff Hall. I'm going to be leading a design your own Ouija board event where you're going to do your own little arts and crafts. I'm making some stencils. You can make your own Ouija board, and then we're going to do an investigation at the end of the night. Sort of like a paint night kind of thing.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
So I see we got about 3 minutes left, Kyle. Before I ask my typical 3 questions that I ask everybody else before we end the show, where can people find you? Like as far as your socials, plug your stuff.
Kyle is Haunted 13 on all socials.
Nice.
You know, that was the quickest plug I've ever heard.
I know. I love it.
But that was
makes it easy to sign in.
It does. But that was awesome. So yeah. I always end my podcast off with 3 specific questions. 2 of them are multi-part.
Okay.
Question number 1. Everyone in the paranormal has a bucket list that they would like to go and investigate at. You could choose one location. All expenses paid. Where are you going?
Island of the Dolls.
Oh, Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh, that place is creepy. Out of all places, why would you choose that?
I love Mexico.
I think it's a good one, though. Yeah.
No, it is. I've not gotten that answer before, but dear God, that place is creepy.
I'm taking a doll.
I mean, I would go if I had to.
If you had
willingly, I don't know. Willingly,
It's
look. I'm not. Go ahead.
I was saying it's that or Poveglia. One of those.
Porvalia, always a good choice. We're gonna go with Island of the Dolls here, though, because I've not had that one before, and I love the answer. The place just creeps me out. So, you're going to the Island of the Dolls. You can bring one person with you, alive or dead. They do not have to be involved in the paranormal. Who are you bringing with you, and why?
Adam Sandler.
Oh,
Adam Sandler.
Never got that answer. Yep.
Now, that one I've got to ask why. Is it because of his snazzy fashion sense?
Just because we're both from Manchester and we both kind of have the same style. Shorts and sweatshirt in Mexico.
That's a fair answer.
Scared.
That's fair. So, okay, you're going to the Island of the Dolls. And you're bringing Mr. Funny Man himself, Adam Sandler, wearing either some kind of gym shorts and a T-shirt or some sweatpants and a T-shirt. We don't know yet. We're going to figure out what the heat is like what the humidity is, right? So right. You got that whole gear going on there. So you can only bring one piece of paranormal equipment to investigate with. What are you bringing with you and why that piece of equipment?
I'm going to bring my Spirit Box portal that I made. Because I have it, I designed it so I can wear it and strap it on me.
Oh, good.
It's wireless, so I can walk around and have it. And it's very portable.
I love it. So Island of the Dolls with Adam Sandler wearing whatever garb fits the season. And the portal box that you invented or designed, basically, correct?
Yeah, it's not my design, but I bought all the parts to
well, no, like you made it the way you like it.
Yeah, he adapted it.
Yes, that's what I meant. Adapted. That's the word I was looking for.
It's a much cheaper version than the ones they sell on all those sites.
It's smart, actually. Yeah,
that's what matters.
All right.
So let me tell you, I appreciate you coming on the show. This has been an awesome hour. I really enjoyed talking to you. We got one more ad to run. If you wouldn't mind hanging around in the background for say another 5 or 7 minutes. And I got one more follow-up that I always ask after the show.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, buddy, for coming on. I really appreciate it, and I enjoyed the conversation.
No, yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right. See you in a minute.
I feel like that was awesome.
It was. And he adapted his own piece of equipment. I'm all for that. That's awesome. Yeah.
I was not expecting Adam Sandler as an answer. That one came out of left field for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Never heard that one.
But once it was explained, I'm like, okay, that's fair. I get it. That makes sense.
It does.
It was a great answer. I loved it. Never gotten the Island of the Dolls before. Don't get me wrong. As I said, if I was held hostage, I would go to the Island of the Dolls, but I don't think I'd go there willingly. Just because the dolls are creepy. I'm not afraid of them. They're just creepy.
Come on, you're a little bit afraid. At least one of them, maybe.
Actually, there is one that apparently talks, and I don't like that. If that damn thing talks around me, I'm gonna hit it with a rock. I'm just
You
saying.
are funny as I don't know. Okay. Just hit it with
I'm
a
just saying. But guys, that was another episode of the Paranormal Unveiled here on Wicked Wednesday, the midday, or technically the middle show of Wicked Wednesdays.
There you go.
Be sure to stay tuned for Twisted Tales with Jeremy Cotter. He told me how to pronounce his guest's last name earlier, and I've already forgotten.
No
But
clue.
he's got an amazing guest coming on. Me and him discussed him a little bit earlier. You're not gonna want to miss it. That's gonna be at 9:30 p.m. EST to finish out and wrapping up Wicked Wednesdays. So everybody, I thank you so much for joining in. I had a great time. Gwen, I hope you did, and I hope Kyle did as well. And I will see you guys next week. Same spooky time, same spooky network. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.